Remember, Everybody Hates Chris's, the hilarious show that once had us all laughing through the lens of a young boy's chaotic life in Brooklyn. But what happened after the cameras stopped rolling? Behind the laughter lies a story few have heard, of silent battles, broken dreams, shocking losses, and inspiring comebacks. 20 years later, the cast's real lives are more dramatic than any script. Are you ready to find out who made it, who vanished, and who lost everything? Terry Crews as Julius Rock, from TV's funniest dad to a warrior of the soul. He was the dad who made us laugh while counting every penny. As Julius Rock, Terry Crews embodied the strict, no-nonsense father we all loved. A man who could stretch $1 like magic and still find time to love his family with every ounce of his being. But behind that unforgettable performance was a man grappling with demons few knew about. After his NFL career and breakthrough on Everybody Hates Chris, fame came fast. But peace didn't. Terry's marriage was on the brink of collapse due to a hidden addiction to pornography that haunted him for years. He bared it all in his emotional memoir Manhood, revealing a journey through therapy, shame, and ultimately, redemption. Then came another blow. In 2017, he spoke out about being sexually assaulted by a Hollywood agent, challenging an industry that often silences male victims. His bravery made headlines, but it also brought threats, isolation, and mental scars. Now at 57, Terry is more than just a star. He's a symbol of resilience. He trains 6 days a week, calls fitness his mental therapy, and continues to host America's Got Talent with his signature charm. With a $25 million net worth and a heart rebuilt through faith and forgiveness, Terry Crews is living proof that even TV's toughest dads can break and come back stronger. Whoopi Goldberg as Louise Clarkson, a one-episode wonder who left a lasting mark. She only appeared once, but in that single Mother's Day episode, Whoopi Goldberg lit up the screen as Louise Clarkson, Tasha's no-nonsense, sharp-tongued grandmother. Sitting on the front stoop with young Chris, she delivered lines with the bite of a veteran and the warmth of someone who's seen it all. Her cameo? Instant classic. But the real story of Whoopi's life is even more dramatic than any sitcom script. She's battled addiction, bankruptcy, and heartbreak, surviving 3 failed marriages and more personal losses than most could endure. In 2019, she nearly died from double pneumonia and sepsis. Then in 2023, multiple sclerosis struck, leaving part of her body paralyzed. Lesser spirits might have disappeared. Not Whoopi. Now at 70, she's still holding court on The View, earning millions, writing books, and fighting for causes close to her heart. Louise Clarkson may have only visited the Everybody Hates Chris universe once, but Whoopi, she's been owning every stage she's touched for decades. Taquan Richmond as Drew Rock, the cool kid who grew up under pressure. He was the effortlessly cool younger brother, smooth, confident, and everything Chris wasn't. As Drew Rock, Taquan Richmond made audiences laugh and envy with his swagger. But behind the scenes, growing up in the spotlight brought challenges few ever saw. After Everybody Hates. Chris ended, Taquan struggled with identity. The fame faded, the roles got smaller, and the pressure of staying relevant as a child star hit hard. For a time, he felt lost, unsure if Hollywood still had a place for him. Then came music. During recovery from a severe shoulder injury on set, Taquan rediscovered himself through songwriting and producing, turning pain into purpose. In 2021, his world changed again when he became a father to daughter Harley. "It's the most beautiful, terrifying thing I've ever done," he said. Now 33, Taquan splits his time between indie films and music studios in Los Angeles. With 3 Emmy nods under his belt and a $500,000 net worth, he's no longer chasing fame, he's building legacy. Drew was born cool. Taquan earned it the hard way. Jason Alexander as Principal Edwards, from sitcom royalty to a battle for survival. He only popped in occasionally, but when Principal Lacey showed up, chaos followed. Jason Alexander's role as the awkward, overbearing schoolhead in Everybody Hates Chris was a small but hilarious reminder of his unmatched comedic timing. But beyond the jokes, his real-life story is a roller coaster far more intense than anything on screen. After his meteoric rise as George Costanza in Seinfeld, Jason faced the unthinkable, fading fame. Depression hit hard. Alcohol dulled the pain, and anger almost tore apart his decades-long marriage. Only through therapy and his wife Dana's unwavering love did he find his way back from the edge. Then came the health scares. Chronic IBS made daily life unpredictable. Years of smoking led to asthma, and in 2024, a heart scare landed him in surgery for a stent. That was the wake-up call. Jason quit alcohol, cleaned up his diet, and took up golf not just for fun, but survival. Now 66, with a net worth of $50 million, Jason lives quietly in Los Angeles, teaching acting, supporting charities, and reminding us that even sitcom legends sometimes have to fight for a second act. Ernest Lee Thomas as Mr. Omar, the man who made death funny, yet lived with silent pain. He was the quirky funeral director with the unforgettable catchphrase, a character who somehow made death hilarious and stole every scene he touched. But behind Mr. Omar's eccentric charm was a real man carrying decades of unspoken sorrow. Ernest Lee Thomas grew up in poverty, chasing acting as a lifeline out of a world that offered him little hope. His love life? A trail of heartbreak he never recovered from. After losing his younger brother to AIDS in the 90s, Ernest confessed he was too afraid to love again, too afraid to lose anyone else. And life didn't stop testing him. Diabetes struck in 2015, bringing nerve pain, vision loss, and constant exhaustion. A congenital eye condition forced him to fight twice as hard just to stay in the industry. Still, he refused to disappear, using social media to inspire others battling their own demons. Now at 76, Ernest lives quietly in a small Los Angeles apartment, taking modest roles and speaking about mental health with the same soulfulness that once made Mr. Omar iconic. His net worth may be humble, but his resilience, absolutely priceless. J.B. Smoove as Manny, the barbershop wise guy who carved his own road to greatness. He wasn't a main character, but when Manny the barber showed up, he stole the scene with slick one-liners and smooth attitude. J.B. Smoove brought effortless charisma to Everybody Hates Chris, turning a neighborhood barbershop into a stage for laughs, life advice, and unforgettable swagger. But the real man behind the clippers, his story runs much deeper. Born Jerry Brooks, J.B. grew up in poverty after his father's sudden death when he was 15. Comedy wasn't a dream, it was survival. He hustled through odd jobs, dodged street life, and finally found his voice in stand-up. But even after his guest role as Manny, the grind never stopped. Touring, rejection, and endless nights on the road left scars no one saw. In 2015, he survived a terrifying home invasion that triggered years of anxiety. Chronic back pain from performing followed. Still, he fought back, with love, laughter, and a deep bond with his wife Shahida and their family. Now 59, J.B. stars in Curb Your Enthusiasm, lives in New Jersey, and tends his organic garden like therapy. With a $6 million net worth, he's proof that even small roles can lead to legendary paths, if you're brave enough to walk them. Tichina Arnold as Rochelle Rock, the fierce TV mom who battled pain behind the laughter. She ruled the Rock household with sharp words, a slipper in hand, and a heart that beat for her kids. As Rochelle Rock, Tichina Arnold gave us a mother we feared, loved, and never forgot. But off-screen, her life unfolded with heartbreak far deeper than any script could write. Her first marriage ended in quiet sorrow. Her second? a public betrayal, infidelity, leaked footage, and emotional devastation. Then came the blows no spotlight could soften, the death of her father, a painful miscarriage, and the terrifying diagnosis of lupus. In 2020, a benign brain tumor threatened her vision and her peace, but Rochelle never backed down, and neither did Ticina. Through yoga, therapy, and fierce maternal love, she found healing. Her daughter Elijah became her anchor, her strength, her weapon. Now 56, she lives in Los Angeles, stars in The Neighborhood, and raises her voice for lupus awareness. With a $2 million net worth and a lifetime of lessons, Ticina Arnold reminds us the strongest mothers carry the heaviest burdens and still rise. Paige Hurd as Tasha Clarkson, the girl next door who faced real-world darkness. She was Chris's first crush, sweet, sassy, and way out of his league. As Tasha Clarkson, Paige Hurd lit up the screen with charm and innocence. But behind that childhood role was a young actress navigating a world far more complicated than TV ever showed. Paige grew up close to rapper DMX, who became her godfather and protector in the chaotic world of entertainment. His sudden death in 2021 shattered her. "A piece of my heart went with him," she once said, a loss that left her spiraling. In 2019, a DUI arrest forced her to step away from acting, seek therapy, and face her demons head-on. Anxiety, insomnia, and grief became daily battles. But Paige didn't quit. Through yoga, counseling, and fierce self-discipline, she rebuilt herself from the inside out. Now 33, she lives in Los Angeles, reigniting her acting career and inspiring millions online. With a net worth of $2 million, Paige Hurd isn't just the girl next door anymore. She's a woman who's walked through fire and learned to shine even brighter. Antonio Fargas as Doc Harris, the streetwise legend who lost everything but grace. He was the wise old man behind the counter, handing out advice with a side of sarcasm. As Doc, Antonio Fargas played the neighborhood store owner who anchored Everybody Hates Chris in truth and warmth. But off-screen, his life would take a heartbreaking turn no script could predict. A Harlem native, Antonio had survived racism, poverty, and the brutal grind of showbiz. But nothing prepared him for 2023, when Sandra, his wife of over 30 years, passed away after a long illness. It broke him. The man who once lit up screens with effortless swagger found himself retreating into silence and solitude. Age hasn't spared him either. Now 79, he battles chronic pain and fatigue, the weight of decades in the industry taking its toll. But Doc wouldn't be Doc without resilience. Antonio turned to yoga, a plant-based diet and community outreach, transforming grief into quiet strength. Though far from Hollywood's spotlight, he still attends fan events, film festivals, and charity drives. His net worth? Around $1 million. His legacy? Priceless. Antonio Fargas may have lost the love of his life, but he's never lost the dignity that made Doc unforgettable. Travis T. Flory as Joey Caruso. From TV bully to quiet soul searching for meaning. He shoved Chris into lockers, threw insults like candy, and somehow still made us laugh. As Joey Caruso, Travis T. Flory gave us the school bully we weirdly liked. But when the cameras stopped, Travis took a turn few expected. He disappeared. By 2010, he was gone from Hollywood. No press tours, no scandals, just silence. Many thought he quit acting. The truth? He chose peace. Burned out by the demands of child stardom, Travis stepped back to find who he was without a script. He spent years living quietly with his family in California, writing songs, studying music, and learning to breathe without the pressure. There were no big headlines, but for Travis, that was the point. "Fame isn't freedom," he once said. "Sometimes stepping away is the bravest role of all." Now 33, Travis works as a voice actor, independent musician, and creative behind the scenes. With a net worth around $1 million, he's not chasing applause. He's chasing truth. Caruso made noise. Travis found peace. Tyler James Williams as Chris, the kid who took the pain and turned it into power. He was awkward, misunderstood, and constantly out of place, and we loved him for it. As Chris, Tyler James Williams didn't just carry Everybody Hates Chris, he became its soul. But being the face of a generation came at a cost. After childhood fame, Tyler wrestled with isolation and the crushing pressure to stay relevant. Romantic rumors swirled, but he kept his heart guarded. "It's hard to trust love when you don't know who's real," he once admitted. Then came a life-altering blow, Crohn's disease. In 2017, he was hospitalized, wasting away from pain, inflammation, and weight loss that nearly killed him. But Tyler didn't let it break him. He let it shape him. Through therapy, discipline, and raw self-expression, he came back stronger. Now 33, Tyler stars in Abbott Elementary as Gregory Eddy, a role that earned him a Golden Globe and Emmy nomination. With a $5 million net worth, he lives quietly in Los Angeles, writing music, supporting charities, and proving that strength isn't loud. It's surviving silently and choosing to shine anyway. Vincent Martella as Greg, the quiet friend who faced grief and grew in silence. He was the awkward best friend with the giant backpack and the bigger heart. As Greg, Vincent Martella gave Everybody Hates Chris its soul of friendship, loyal, weird, and wonderfully human. But once the cameras stopped, Vincent chose a quieter path, one paved with grief, solitude, and creativity. After the series ended, fame didn't lure him. Music did. He built a voice acting career, becoming the voice of Phineas in Phineas and Ferb, a show that defined a generation. But behind the scenes, life hit hard. In 2018, he lost his father to cancer. The pain was devastating, and for a while, so was the silence. Vincent stepped back from public life. No red carpets, no headlines, just time with family, time to heal. He never chased fame. He built art instead. Between studio sessions and songwriting, he slowly rebuilt himself. Now 33, Vincent splits his time between LA and Florida, lending his voice to global projects and his music to anyone who listens. With a $3 million net worth, he lives not in fame, but in peace. Greg was loyal on screen. Vincent stayed loyal to himself and found something richer than fame, purpose. Imani Hakim as Tanya Rock, the sharp-tongued sister who found strength in stillness. She was small but fierce, the sister who never missed a chance to roast Chris and steal a scene. As Tanya Rock, Imani Hakim delivered sass with surgical precision, but real life wasn't always so playful. After the spotlight found her at 12, Imani struggled to feel normal. Fame at that age can isolate, and it did. Schoolmates turned distant, and the pressure to stay perfect pushed her inward. She stepped back, retreated into painting, yoga, and silence. There she found herself. As she grew, so did her art. From the Gabby Douglas story to Mythic Quest, Imani proved she wasn't just a child star. She was a woman with depth, but life tested her again. In 2025, her pregnancy brought complications. Dangerously high blood pressure landed her in the hospital. But through therapy and meditation, she emerged not weaker, but transformed. Now 32, Imani lives in Los Angeles with her fiancé Chris Naoki Lee and their newborn son. With a $500,000 net worth and a heart full of balance, she continues to act, paint, and raise her voice, quietly but powerfully. From Tanya, the troublemaker, to Imani, the creator, her evolution is living proof silence can be the strongest sound of all. Cavante Jackson as Jerome, the street icon who survived the crash and kept his swagger. "You just mad 'cause I'm styling on you." With one catchphrase, Jerome became legendary. As the smooth-talking hustler, Cavante Jackson made every entrance in Everybody Hates Chris unforgettable, funny, flashy, and full of street wisdom. But real life would hit much harder than any punchline. Cavante started young, bouncing between auditions and rap battles in South Los Angeles. Everybody Hates Chris gave him visibility, but music was his heartbeat. Performing as K. Jackson, he hustled in studios, chasing something real. Then came the crash. In 2012, a car accident nearly took his life. Back and leg injuries left him bedridden for months. The pain was physical, but the silence afterward cut deeper. He disappeared from screens, from stages, and nearly from himself. But he came back. With therapy, music production, and quiet resilience, Cavante rebuilt. No spotlight, no headlines, just the grind. Today at 43, he lives in Los Angeles, producing music, working behind the scenes in TV, and showing that survival is style too.